Good day, everyone. This is Coach Reese coming at you with another great video. I'm hoping all is well with you and your family and that you're enjoying your day. Today's video is going to be a part two on my series of how to become a millionaire. And I feel that this video is very important, young people, because if you desire to be a millionaire as a young person, it's very important that you have to follow some rules in order to be very successful and to accumulate a lot of money. And so, to all your young people that desire to be a millionaire, I wish you all the best. And I pray that you all will work extremely hard to achieve your goals. Becoming a millionaire is not easy. You're going to have to go through some really dark days and dark nights and, suffer a bit. But if you hang in there and work extremely hard and apply some of these principles that I'm going to explain to you in this video, you will be very successful. The title of my video today is I Am a Millionaire. I Am a Millionaire. That's the title of my video. And today I just have a few notes here on my piece of paper, and I'm going to be going on the fly today, as far as shooting out ideas for you young people. But I just pray that you all will bear with me as I go through this process of making this video for you. My first point is this. If you want to become a millionaire, you may want to consider being a lawyer. Some lawyers make $500 an hour. I'm going to repeat that again. Some lawyers can make $500 an hour. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you to understand this, young people. Can you imagine making $500 an hour? Just take a moment and think about that. The average person works 8 hours a day. So if you multiply 500 times 8 hours, I'm not a good mathematician, but I'm telling you, that is a lot of money. And if you do, achieve that goal of becoming an attorney, making $500 an hour, I assure you it won't be long before you'll be extremely wealthy, but, again, if you do achieve that goal of making $500 an hour as an attorney, I strongly advise that you use wisdom with your money and you don't waste it on, petty things like, buying cars and buying lavish gifts and things like that. Just use wisdom if you accumulate that kind of money, and great things will come to you. And the other point I wanted to make is this: doctors can accumulate several streams of income, right? So like if you become a medical doctor, like a surgeon or something like that, surgeons make very good money. And you can, once you become a surgeon, you can begin to save your money and everything. Of course, after you pay your student loans and all that. But, being a surgeon, you should be making really good money. But anyway, once you become a surgeon and, you finish all your training and you start saving your money, think about other ways of investing, right? Like, you can talk to people. They can show you how to invest in stocks and bonds. You can do your research on, investing in gold or, other precious metals. You can do your research on how to buy property. What I mean? So all of those things will bring you great success as far as, attaining wealth, if that's what you desire. Some millionaires, they do not put all of their wealth into one stream of income, right? Very successful millionaires have several streams of income. Like I say, they may invest in real estate, they may invest in gold, or they may invest in stocks and bonds, So, you know, young people, once you become a licensed professional, if that's what you desire to be, a doctor, a lawyer, just use wisdom as gain your wealth, and just be smart about the decisions you make, because, as even if you are a licensed attorney, some of those big time lawyers and doctors, they can file for bankruptcy. And I don't want you to experience that. Now, if you use wisdom, like I say, in all that you do, great things will come to you. Okay. Young people, I challenge you uh, to, uh, I challenge you, young people, to save 25 cents a day. You know, and I firmly believe that some of you young people can do that. I want you to try to discipline yourself, young people, to save 25 cents a day and keep track of your money for 1 year. And you'll be shocked at the amount of money that you saved by just disciplining yourself and putting 1 quarter a day in your piggy bank. Okay. I'm not a mathematician, but you could accumulate quite a bit of money if you save 25 cents a day, and just keep track of it for 365 days. It's 365 days in a year. I think it's 52 weeks in a year or something like that. But just the day that you start saving 25 cents a day, count 12 months after that, and then count your money and see how much you saved. See how much you saved by simply disciplining yourself to put 25 cents in your piggy bank for 1 year. 25 cents a day for 1 year, and I want you to see how much you have saved. And I'm gonna tell you, young people, if you can discipline yourself to do that, you'll be shocked at the amount of money that you can accumulate as well, as even as a young person. Young people, it's very important, that you learn what a fiduciary is. Now, I'm, I'm not trying to be like a financial advisor or anything, but fiduciaries, they will help you, teach you how to invest in your money, and they will, try to give you the best financial advice they can. And I'm telling you, young people, it's very important that you learn what a fiduciary is, because I'm telling you, if you discipline yourself and get with a very good fiduciary that will, help you to expand your income, I'm telling you, you'll be so thankful and grateful that you discipline yourself to, try to get to know what a fiduciary is and seek out a fiduciary for, very good financial advice. I strongly advise that you all do that, young people. The final point that I wanted to make is this. You want to try to find a millionaire that will mentor you. Now, I'm just giving you fair warning, young people. Millionaires, they don't like to listen to like a poor mentality. They don't want to hear that poor mentality, of, you can't do this or you can't do that, or I don't have the money to do that or do this. Basically, millionaires are risk takers. You know what I mean? And I just want to tell you this: millionaires fail their way to success. If you want to become a millionaire, young people, you're going to experience a lot of failure. You know what I mean? But the key to it, young people, is that you have to be very consistent, and you have to be very disciplined and focus on your goals and objectives in life if you desire to be a millionaire. You can't quit, young people, when you face adversity, in your goals of becoming a millionaire. I'm going to repeat that again. You can't quit, young people, when you face adversity or downfalls when you're trying to become a successful millionaire. And I'm going to tell you, if you're blessed to find a millionaire that will mentor you, I caution you, young people, I want you to have an open mind, and I want you to listen thoroughly to what they're trying to tell you. And I want you to apply what they're telling you to your life. You know, if you want to become a millionaire, there's no room for negativity. You know, there's no room for crying and weeping over this loss or that loss. You know, if you do lose or fail at something, you have to dust your pants off. You have to dust your pants off and get up and move on to the next project that's gonna get you to be just gonna get you down the road to success of becoming a millionaire. Okay, that's very important, young people. Okay, I'm getting to the conclusion of my video, and in all my videos, young people, I touch on the 3 points on wisdom. I touch on a point on critical thinking, and then I have an ending statement of practice. And I'm gonna go ahead and touch on my 3 points on wisdom. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Point number 2, wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Young people, point number 2 is very important. Wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. You know, young people, I thoroughly encourage you to write that second point down and apply it to your life. Point number 3 is very important as well. Wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. Wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. So young people, I pray that you all will do your research on wisdom, and I pray that you will gain as much good wisdom and spiritual wisdom as possible. The sooner you desire to gain wisdom, the better off you'll be, young people, and it will benefit you in the long run. I have a point on critical thinking, and it goes like this. Always be a critical thinker, young people, especially when making big decisions. Always be a critical thinker, young people, especially when making big decisions. So young people, I encourage you all to become critical thinkers. And I also, encourage you all to do your research on critical thinking. And also, young people, I encourage you to talk to your parents about the topic of critical thinking. And your parents will help you navigate the differences between making big decisions and minor decisions. Young people, it's just my humble opinion. The sooner you become a critical thinker, the better off you'll be, and it will benefit you in the long run. And I pray that you all would take that to heart as well. I have an ending statement of practice, young people, and it goes like this. I love you. I want the best for you. I want you to practice using love and wisdom in all that you do. Life is a game that you must learn how to play. Practicing love and wisdom with your family, friends, and loved ones creates a powerful team. Love conquers all, young people, even if you feel defeated. So young people, I encourage you to keep loving and keep growing and gaining in wisdom, and God will bless you in a mighty way. I encourage you all to hit the thumbs up on this video. Young people, I encourage you to share this video with family, friends, and loved ones. And I encourage you all to subscribe to my channel. At the end of the day, young people, I want you to accomplish all your goals and dreams in life. And I want you all to be the best person that you possibly can be every single day of your life. That is absolutely important that you do that, young people. Be the best person that you possibly can be every day of your life. I have one more nugget of wisdom before I conclude this video, and it goes like this. Don't ever think that you're better than anyone else, young people, but rather think of yourself as just as good as anyone else. Humility is a vital key to successful life. And I pray that you all will apply that to your life. The sooner you do that, young people, the sooner you discipline yourself to practice humility, the better off you'll be. And it'll benefit you in the long run, okay? I'm going to conclude this video by saying this. May God bless you and may God keep you until we meet again.